You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980. My name is Les Brown, and we thank you so much for joining us. And this is a different kind of program. This is the program that deliberately designed to inspire you to pursue your dreams, to find out what it is that you're passionate about in life, and to get out of your head and develop your greatness. But Les, how do we do that? Well, the only way that you can develop your greatness is set a goal for yourself that's beyond your comfort zone, and put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. Because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. I don't know you, I can't see you, and you don't know me, but here's what I know about you based upon my experience. That you have something special. You have greatness within you. And I believe that the reason that most of us never pursue our greatness or even aware that we have it is because we live in a world where negative things are talked about all the time and always given high profile. And as a result, that skews our vision of the world, and that begins to create the kind of negative perspective we have toward life and toward each other. Let me give you an example. Recently, I talked about a few weeks ago an article on CNN that focused on how much good today's teens are doing. The article focused on how many people believe that today's young people are not acting responsibly, not acting maturely, that they smoke more, that young people of today drink more, that they get pregnant more often, and they use firearms more often. Laura Stepp, she wrote that more teens are behaving more responsibly, according to the CDC. But even with those statistics indicating that the teens today have less pregnancies, less violence, less dropout rate, a lot of people simply don't believe it. Laura says that many respondents were downright hostile to the notion that young people might actually be faring better than the previous generation. Now, here's some of the negative comments that people said to Laura Stepp. She said, teens are worse than ever. Teens are completely incapable of thinking for themselves. That's what a lot of people wrote her. Teens today don't give a crap about anything but themselves. Teens have an appalling lack of any sense of remorse for any wrongdoing. And she received all of these comments of a negative nature, even though the statistics speak directly opposite of that. So here's what we're talking about today, and I want you to join me in this, is we want to showcase the positive things. Let's talk about, which very seldom happens in media, the good things that young people are doing today. I was at a meeting last night before. It's called CEO Space by Bernie Dorman, whose father was a mentor to Walt Disney and also to Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich. And at this meeting that was hosted by Craig and Shameen, I saw their daughters. Now they haven't been on television. They don't have a little, what they call tramp stamps on them. These are little teeny weenies, I call them, 11 years old and 13, Sterling and Sheridan Holmes. They're entrepreneurs. They have a snap. That's their business pitch. They have a business that they have started. They have a business plan. They're getting investors. They're 11 and 13 years of age. They go to school. They're involved in school, and they're on the phone constantly generating income and ideas around their business and their nonprofit. They're 11 and 13 years old. Kids doing good stuff. I had my granddaughter, one of my granddaughters, Mishan, called me the other day, and she said, "Grandpa, got a quote for you." I said, "What is it?" And she said, "Amateurs built the Ark. Professionals built the Titanic. Get out of your head and live your greatness." I said, "Wow." I said, "Go ahead, Mishan. All right." I said, what made you think about that? She said, well, the fact that Noah's Ark, it did what it was supposed to do. She said the Titanic, they said it was the unsinkable Titanic, and they got the best professionals around to build it. These were professional people, and it sank. And amateurs who had faith, amateurs built Noah's Ark. I said, whoa, out of the mouths of babes. Am I proud of my granddaughter? You better believe it. I want to hear you. Do you have anything that you can report that you saw that impressed you with somebody else's kid or relative or some young person that you saw, like I saw Sterling and Sheridan Holmes. Every week when I go to a CEO space meeting, I look at these young girls, 11 and 13, and the level of maturity and focus, and young entrepreneurs. They're an asset to our society rather than a liability. I want you to call. Let's talk about young people that's doing some good stuff. Call up and brag about your daughter or your son or your nephew or your neighbor's son or some young person you saw doing a good thing, and let's give them a shout out and call their name out. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. Why are you doing this, Les? Because whatever you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. Negative information, it sticks in the mind. People can recall negative stuff with details. Positive stuff, because it's so infrequent, they just gloss over it. And they don't remember that. You can do 100 good things for a person, but you do one thing that they consider bad, and they will recall that instantly, because that's the way we're wired. This program is wired to focus on the positive. I want to hear from you, and I want you to call me now and tell me something good about a young person that you know, like Lillian Wong, that I'm going to tell you about when we come back. 888-539-2980. I want to hear from you. 888-539-2980. We are showcasing the greatness in our youth on this hour. You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.